Hey everyone, I'm Michael
Today we're checking out Hedge Mage.
from Floodgate Games.
Yes.
This game plays 2 to 4 players and has a box play time of 45 minutes. This game is currently got the last few days on Kickstarter.
Yeah, we're like nearing the end here, so.
Yeah, so definitely don't wait or it'll be too late. And if you wait, then you're gonna have to. I don't know if there's late pledges or anything, but you'll be stuck in the back of the line. Go ahead and pre-order on Kickstarter today.
That's right.
So thanks to Floodgate for providing us this pre-production copy of Hedge Mage, but they didn't do it. They didn't give it to us in exchange for this video. They gave it to us because they know we like to play all the games. So let's go ahead and take a look at this while I teach you all the rules, or at least the rules as they exist now.
Yes.
So everything is pre-production, so some of the molds might change. I don't know if these will be different player colors, but these little gnomes are what we have right now. So these little mages can carry gnomes in an upright state or laying down in its little bin. I think it's really cute how they have that going. So you've got 3 different types of gnomes. You've got the purple flower gnomes. You've got the red mushroom gnomes. And it's October, so you know the reason for the season. Mushroom gnomes.
They look like pumpkin gnomes.
Hey, Time Roller, thanks for that subscription. They look like what?
Pumpkin gnomes.
They are pumpkin gnomes. What did I say?
You said mushroom gnomes.
Pumpkin gnomes.
Yeah.
Sorry. They are pumpkin gnomes. So, your goal is to rescue all of these sleeping gnomes, the gnomes that are sleeping on your board. The game will end at the end of a round in which all 10 hedge cards have been revealed, or one player has rescued all the gnomes from their rival's garden. So, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 mages of your chosen color. So I guess they will have colors. You'll choose a random gnome enchantment card of each of the 3 gnome types. The backs of the cards are different on these gnome cards, but one of them will be red, one will be orange, one will be purple. So, the mushroom and pumpkin enchantment cards will have numbers in the bottom corners, and that will determine where your tunnel entrances are. So here are our tunnel entrances on numbers 1 and 5. So we've got the tunnel entrances there and our mages on top. So you're going to place your 2 mages on top of the 2 tunnel tokens on the board of the player to your right. So the board, normally you're going to set these boards in between players. So if we were playing a 3-player game, this would be where I put my stuff. This would be where my left-hand neighbor places their stuff. In a 2-player game, just to keep us from having to reach across and everything, I'm just going to put mine on this one here, and Steph is going to put hers on this one here. As long as we know which ones we are rescuing and where we are placing our tiles, it should be just fine. So it will all make sense once I get started with how to play. So we're going to take 4 gnomes of each of the 3 colors. You're going to shake them up in your hand and you're going to distribute them face down onto each of these gray spots, including the numbers that were not chosen for the tunnel spots. So then you will need to shuffle up the deck of 12 hedge cards, remove the top 2 without looking at them, so there are 10 hedge cards remaining. You're also going to shuffle the favorite gnome deck, and there are 2 that say flower, 2 that say mushroom, and 2 that say pumpkin on here, and that is your favorite type of gnome. That's the one that you want to be sure to rescue because those will grant you extra points for matching gnomes that remain in your garden at the end of the game. That's the one that's actually the ones that Steph
wants to block you from grabbing.
Yes, Steph does. I don't want Steph to rescue those gnomes.
Yeah, so if you have a purple card, you want to block as best you can the purple ones.
Yes. So on your turn, basically everyone is going to be doing everything simultaneously. Each round, you are going to get a new hedge tile to place. So we're going to flip over. We are at a state where we can go ahead and flip over this top card, and it is this little T shape. Everyone has a set of the same batch of tiles. So in this case, we get a T-shaped piece. Notice that there is a sigil on this token. This sigil will let you know how many movement points you are going to get. What you're going to do is you're going to find the matching hedge. You're going to put it on your garden board. That is the one that I'm not going to actually place it over here. This is my garden board, but Steph is going to try to capture gnomes from that garden board. So I'm wanting to make it inconvenient for her to pick up her gnomes. I might try to block her mages. I might try to set it up so that the gnomes are just in really bad spots. Now, you can only put these on empty ground spaces. You cannot cover a mage, a gnome, a hedge, or any other tokens. The tiles have to fit inside the grid, and you can never place anything where you create a 2x2 area of hedge. So, placing tiles like this is right out. And all parts of the board must remain accessible. I cannot do something like this to block off an area from Steph. Even though there are ways for her to get to other areas, I cannot block off areas like that. So, now, remember, every hedge tile has a sigil on it. This is used for calculating movement points on your first turn. You're going to get 1 movement point because you have 1 sigil that matches up with 1 tile on the map. So let's say I place it here, and I'm going to get 1 movement point. Let's say on a subsequent turn, I get this nice long one here. I am going to generate 1 movement point for every sigil in the same row and column that's occupied by the tile I place. So if I place like so, this sigil is in this tile's row or column. I don't have any over here. This would generate me 1, 2 movement points. On a third turn, I might do something like this. This is going to generate 1, 2, 3. However, if I were to put it over here, I'm going to get 1, 2. This sigil is not quite in this column, so I'm not going to get a movement point for that one. So you want to try to generate as many movement points as possible. So after you've placed your tile, then we're going to go to the maze running phase. Your mages and gnomes in your rival's garden, which is over here for me. This is actually Steph's garden. I am going to move both my mages and exactly 1 awake gnome. An awake gnome is turned over like that. Hey, this little dude's awake. He's so cute. So, every movement point is going to give you 1 move for either a mage or an awake gnome, or from spending movement tokens. If you've managed to capture any of these movement tokens, those will give you additional movement when you need it. You can move around characters in any order. You can pause movement with a character to move another character. And each character can move the full amount of movement points generated. It's not going to be divided between them. So if I generate 3 movement points, that means this dude gets 3 and this dude gets 3 and my awake gnome gets 3. And it can be hard to track, but you got to keep up with it. So all movement is orthogonal. So if I want to move to here, that's going to cost me 2, not 1. Characters can move through each other's spaces, but you can't end your turn like so, unless you're carrying a gnome, in which case, if this little guy wants to go 1, 2, 3, assuming he's awake, then he could jump in there like that. Any movement points that you do not use do not carry over between rounds. So, while moving, a mage could pick up, carry, and drop gnomes as many times as you want. Let's give this guy 10 movement points. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could pick up this sleeping gnome and go 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop off this guy. 9, pick up this guy. 10, move with him. So it costs 1 to pick up a gnome. 1 to carry a gnome, as you know, same as if he were walking by himself, and 1 to drop a gnome. So let me put my little guys back. You can also spend movement tokens. I believe that these movement tokens are going to be potion bottles instead of cubes.
That makes sense.
So you can spend any number of movement tokens at any time during the maze running phase. If you gain movement tokens mid-round because you've rescued gnomes, then you can spend those as well, and you can store up to 6 at one time. Everyone is going to get one of these cute little gnome houses, and as you see, there are spaces for 6 movement tokens to be placed. You'll also notice that as you rescue these gnomes, you're going to get a certain number of points for rescuing them to your tunnels. So, if a character ends up on top of a hedge tile, we haven't talked about how that happens, but if you end up with a character on top of a hedge, you can move across the hedge spaces and even jump from hedge to hedge if they are right next to each other, like so. You can just happily go from the one space to another, and you can just exit at any time by moving off the hedge. But at that point, you can't just willingly climb back up. There are ways to get up. I will get to that in just a second. So, now you'll notice all of our gnomes are asleep. There are certain ways that you will wake them up. For example, these mushroom gnomes. These are sorcerers. It says if they're held by a mage while your other mage holds a mushroom gnome, they will both magically awaken.
Nice. So get your reds at the same time.
Get your reds at the same time. The orange ones will wake up if you can get them into one of the 4 squares of a corner. Now, this is just for our game. There are multiple of these, so each game can have different
rules
for waking up your gnomes.
Okay.
Or rather, they are how to enchant your gnomes. Floor alchemy in the same row as one mage and the same column as the other mage. That gnome will spark to life, and then boom,
walking him.
You can start walking him as long as that's your one awake gnome that you choose. So, an awake gnome can move just like normal. An awake gnome can move from an adjacent space onto a mage as long as that mage is not already carrying a gnome, or that gnome could jump off as long as the gnome is awake.
Yeah, you woke him up.
Yeah, for sure. And a gnome can indeed move the round it wakes up as long as you have not moved a gnome of that color this round. Oh, can you move one of each color?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
Well,
if you could move.
Want to sorry. let me flip back here for a second. Um, yes, one awake gnome of each color. Sorry,
Okay,
of
yeah.
each color. Yes, you are correct. I should have been clear with that. My fault. So, if an awake gnome moves or is placed into a tunnel space, even if he's not being carried, he can just hop into the tunnel. Of course, the asleep ones, you can't dump them into the tunnel. They have to be awake.
That's right.
So, a sleeping gnome is just going to block up the tunnel.
Yeah.
So you can't do it.
Right.
So, when a gnome is rescued, you put it on your Gnome Suite gnome board, and you're going to gain the rescue bonus in that space. You'll see that there are rescue bonuses of getting movement tokens, getting an additional sigil, like so.
Which has to be placed immediately.
Yes, and then you've got a little spring shroom token. The spring shroom tokens allow you to jump onto the an adjoining hedge. So let's talk a little bit about some of these things. Movement tokens, those are the ones that look like potions, and we've just got cubes here. These are the ones that can be spent. They're one-time use. Keep in mind, if you spend a movement token, all of your mages and gnomes move the extra amount.
Yes, you spend one, everybody now has a movement of 2.
Yeah, so instead, if I spend it now, I wouldn't have movement of 1 for everything. I'd have movement of 2 for everything.
It's pretty strong.
It's pretty strong. Gain a bonus sigil token when you place your next hedge tile. Then you place this on an empty space on top of that tile. And that's going to help whenever you're placing additional things. Like if I put something over here that matched on that row or column, it's going to count 1, 2. There's 2 sigils there. Finally, the Spring Shroom token. Anytime an awake or asleep character is in the same space as a Spring Shroom, they bounce onto an adjacent space, including on top of a hedge tile.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take your Spring Shroom token and place it underneath an asleep one, which will cause it to bounce 1 space. You can, like I said, you can immediately place this beneath a character, which is either a mage or a gnome. So, when a mage is on a hedge, can it pick up the gnome on the ground? No, it's too far down. You can't do that.
Yeah, imagine standing on a hedge and trying to pick up something on the ground.
So, can a gnome use a mage like a ladder? Yes, you can indeed either pick up a gnome and place it onto a hedge, or the gnome can walk off onto the hedge. That's another way you can get things onto a hedge.
And he could just walk off.
That, assuming he's awake.
Yeah.
So, does moving a gnome with your mage count as the 1 per color? No, because whether this is awake or asleep, as long as I don't move this gnome with this gnome's movement points, I have not used that gnome's 1 gnome per movement. I can carry this guy along no matter what, and then move a different one, as long as I don't move this one.
Yeah.
And dump this guy back off. After all 10 cards have been revealed, or all 12 gnomes have been rescued by 1 player, then the player with the most points wins. If there's a tie, most movement tokens wins. If it's still tied, the shortest player wins.
That's me.
So there is a scoreboard that we have included in this with little wizard figures for each of the mage colors. All right, I believe that is all of the rules. Other questions will likely come up during the course of your game. The rules are fairly good as they are, though we do not have the final copy. So I am going to place this somewhere that makes it difficult for you to get to your things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know where that would be.
Don't know.
I don't either. Yeah. That? You don't like that?
No.
What's wrong with that?
Okay. I'm gonna put mine right here on that board.
Here?
Down, 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 down,
Here?
down. Yeah, like this.
Here?
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
You sure right there?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Did we start with any cubes?
I don't recall that being in the setup.
Okay.
Maybe. Hmm. I see 4 on the boards, but I am not sure. Doesn't say that we get any. So no, I don't think so.
Okay. That's fine. I don't need it.
Oh yeah, 4 movement tokens. You're right.
Great. Maybe I'll use them.
You right. You right. I guess I should have said that during setup.
I wasn't sure, so I didn't ask.
Yeah, it's been a minute, so. All right, I get 1 whopping movement. Not a lot.
Or you could spend some tokens. But maybe I don't want to.
Yeah, spending tokens seems awful extreme. However,
Could spend all 4 and be happy. Or I can spend 3. No, I can spend 2. I'm spending 2.
I'm spending at least 1.
This guy wakes up.
So that's 1. That's 1. And that's 1. And 2 extra.
I got my purple guy awake.
I got whoops, that's wrong. 1, 2. There's a certain way I want to do this. I got to think. I'd have to move him 3 to get him there. One, 2, 3 if I did it. I've got to have him over here in this column and him in that row.
Oh, it has to be a row and a column.
Yes, a row and a column. If you didn't do that, then that's
much more difficult.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out with these 2 guys here.
So I just need to do 2.
Oh, you got yours in the same spots I do. I'm having that same problem.
Well, that's a row and column. That works.
Yes, but that's not. I said that's what I'm working on. And we have. Did you duplicate me?
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to.
No.
Oh.
No, I did not say that.
Okay, then I'll redo it.
Yeah, that's. I'm like, hey, that's the same. Oh wait, that's the same. Oh wait, that's the same.
I want to rechange.
Oh wait, that's also the same. No, I don't know what you're doing.
That's fine. I missed that then.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, of course now.
Okay. Everybody go sleep.
Of course, you put your purples all up there.
Well, I didn't. There's a purple down here.
Yeah, I see that. All right, now I got to find a new place for this.
Okay. So, is that what you're doing?
I'm thinking. It's very chess-like, trying to figure out, okay, where is she going to go? Where do I need to block? Where am I going to place my sigils, etc. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to stop you well enough, but that is in the middle of the playing area, so that it could help me out over the long run. So I'm going to keep it there. All right, now back to my movement, which is where I was before. I did take back my movement tokens.
I'll spend 2.
All right, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. He's awake, and he can also go 1, 2. Mm-hmm. 1, 2. And I don't think I can get anybody else quickly.
Me too.
All right. So that's the end of turn 1.
Yep.
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 I'm going to flip this over.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's the other one?
Don't know.
I'll put it over here. Ooh. How about this Ziggy Zaggy? The W piece.
Yeah.
This one. Now I have to put this over here somewhere.
Mhm.
It's fun.
You got 2 movement.
Putting in there.
Yeah.
I also get 2 movement because this sigil is on this tile somewhere. So the other sigils have to line up on that tile. It's not this sigil needs to line up with other tiles. So currently my movement is 2. I think I'm going to spend 2 extra. Whoa, did you hear that? Spending 2 extra. 1, 2, and 2. 1. He's up. He's in for a movement cube. Two, 3, 4. Gosh, you can't stop me dumping him in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a movement token. I could dump him off, but I don't. Even with the extra, I mean, it does give me the
Sigil.
extra sigil, and it would happen next turn, which is nice. Sure, why not? Dump him in. Boop, sigil time. All right, flipping it up.
Yep.
It's an L. This is the L. I need to place these sigils where this tile can touch. It's like equidistant between both of those corners. There we go. That's perfect. No, I can't do that. You're not even paying attention to this.
I'm trying to figure out where to put mine.
Where?
Cheating stuff.
What's cheating?
Nothing.
Hmm.
Me. Cheating.
Are you cheating?
Yeah.
Like a cheater?
Yeah. All right. That gets me. The sigil has to be within, or the tile has to be within the view of the sigil.
All right, I'm going to read it exactly from the rules. Your hedge tile has to be placed so other sigils are in the same row and columns as the tile you place.
Sigil has to see the tile.
The other sigils have to see the tile. Obviously, it sees itself. This one I should place at some point. I should probably place it down here so I have a little bit of variety on my sigils.
It has to go onto the tile.
Oh. I should probably place it so I get a little variety
On that tile.
on that tile.
Yeah.
That's right. It does go on that tile. It's still going to be 4 movement. Yeah. So I have generated me some 4 movement. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. spending one movement so I can at least be diagonal to them. All right. That it?
Yep.
How about this one?
Hmm. Hmm.
I could earn a bunch of movement by putting it up here, but then I'll lose the chance of blocking you off.
Hmm. Almost. I guess. Slightly better.
You say so?
Well, that's 3. So
Do what?
3 movement points.
Mm-hmm. This would be 4 movement points. That would also be 4 movement points.
That's a lot.
It's not bad. Yeah, I think I'll take those 4 movement points.
All right.
I could flop it. Maybe better for me in the long run. 4 points. One, two. Magically awake.
Yeah, I screwed that up. I screwed everything up.
3, 4, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Movement token.
All right.
This seems not bad. I wish I had different colors awake, but I don't. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
This
Wow.
this long piece.
Yeah.
See, you not awake?
No. Needs to get to the corner.
One of the 4 squares of a corner.
Yeah.
4 squares of a corner.
Oh. Didn't realize that.
So you were gonna run.
So then he could have gone for. I thought it just had to be the corner.
Nope.
Well, then that's fine then. Interesting.
And by fine, you really mean
Not fine.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. That would be 4 movement. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
4. 1. He's awake.
Oh, wait, I didn't
Oh,
do
sorry.
anything.
Well, now you know what I'm doing. So.
Well, I was looking at that space to get
Okay,
the most
good.
movement.
You go.
So.
You do it. Go right ahead.
Because it was.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you.
Go right ahead.
I was going there.
Go ahead.
To get
Sure
me
you
1, 2, 3, 4. You can throw the red
Get
guy.
you 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it gets me 4 movement, right?
Got you. Yes. All right. 1. He goes. You let me know when you're done so I can get that mushroom. 2, 3, 4, and I have to spend another movement thanks to you. He's awake. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I didn't have to dump him off. He could just ran off. So he's got one more movement left. He's got all his movement left. So when do I place the spring shroom token?
It's any time. You don't.
Yep, at any time. I'm gonna save that thing.
Yeah, you don't have to play it right away.
Nope, not gonna.
Yep.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should probably use this. One more pop. And is this one more? That's all my movement. Ready?
Yep.
Little L.
Oh, geez. It's not going to get much movement with this one.
Nope. Me either. Getting movement is more important than blocking, I think. No, that'd be worth 5 movement. That's pretty awesome. All right, I have 5 movement.
Yeah, question.
Okay. Let me put my 5 movement here before I forget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Can you put 2 here or not?
Yes, you have a way through.
Okay, so this like dead then.
Why?
Okay.
Why is it dead?
Because the only way through is through the other one. Right?
Sorry?
If you put 2 things here.
Then you can, without revealing things that will enable you to win the game, there are other ways to get to that hole that
Okay.
I've already used in my game.
Okay.
Would you like me to tell you how?
No. 1, 2. 1.
Right. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. Four.
Hey, Xander.
Hey, Xander. How do we? How do I even think about doing this? So, in order to get the oranges into the corner, I got to figure out how to do this. Yeah, it's going to be hard for those pumpkins to even make it back. Assuming I could even get them to the corner. Two, three. 2, 1, 0. One, two, three, four, five. Nice. I think I've moved them all. Next.
Yep.
This L. Whoops. I don't know where that was.
Here. Not what I wanted.
It's a 7 movement.
Wow.
Love it.
I got 6.
Only 3 cards left. One, two, three, 4, 5. He's got 2 movement left. 1, 2. Poof. Poof. He's got 5 movement left. Three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see what I'm talking about now? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I spent 1 dumping dude off. Not much I can do about some of these pumpkins. Fortunately, I got a spring shroom. I'm gonna have another. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Did he do all this? Yeah, he did all this movement. It is this weird, funky shape. It's not going to be good for movement. I'll tell you that. No, not going to be good for movement at all. Yes, it is. Oh, everywhere I want to place it, I can't place it. Ooh, that's not bad.
Cool.
Do it that way. Can't be over the top of your dude. It's going to be the only thing I can do. Movement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need to place this with it. How about a movement of 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bounce. 5, 6, 7. Awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, Guess it depends on what comes up with these, what I do with the Sleeping Beauty in my hand. Ready?
Yep.
T.
Hmm.
There's a way to everything. Oh, there's not a way to this spot.
Mm-hmm.
That makes the 4 square. Can't do that. Can't do no 4 squares. Now I think I'm gonna have to go for no block. Just don't have four block. I just don't have enough block, and nope, I don't get that or that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 6, 2, 4, 6. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. There's one left. If I dump him off, this guy's got to run after him. I just don't think I'm going to get back to this guy in time. I can get both of these. I just don't think I can get back. I don't think I can get. I can't get back to this one dude.
Okay.
No matter what I do, I think. I mean, I give it a shot. If I hop off the hedge, I'm going to lose any chance of getting him. Let's get this guy in. Whee! It gives me an extra movement cube. He hasn't done any of his movement yet. That's 6 movement total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm just so far away from this. I don't think it's even worth bothering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with him awake. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, last card.
Just a second. He has 1 more movement left. And then I have 3 more movement cubes. It'd have to be one heck of a chain that I pull off. I just don't think it's possible to get him down here and jump back up there. All right. Last card. It's just a straight. Boop.
Can't go there.
Why?
The space. You can't
Because
totally.
every piece has to be, every spot has to be available. That still gives me.
You can't go there.
Still gives me. If you let me take a look at my turn instead of telling me what I can't do. This guy's in my way. I can go up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and can't move it anywhere off of that line. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. And I don't think these are these tie. I don't think they're tiebreakers. I can't remember. Oh yeah, most movement tokens. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus more. Not gonna matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just dump them in the hole. As close as I can get to them. Hey, Cosmic Beat.
So I can just drop this down on this guy?
Yep. Have you had an orange move yet?
No.
All right, he bounces. No, well, you can do that, but he bounces to the next spot automatically.
Yeah, I have like 9 movement or 10 movement now. 10 movement.
All right.
I'm just
If he hasn't moved any.
no. 11 movement.
You're spending them all.
That's it.
All right. All that's left is determining what our favorite gnome was. Mine was purple, 3 per flower gnome. I have 1 flower gnome remaining in my garden.
Yeah.
Yours was orange? Yep. 2 per pumpkin gnome. You get 2 points for this. All that's left is counting up all your points.
There is a score track if you wanted to use it.
Yeah. Whoops. Nah, I can't get to any of it. So you have how many? You start off with 2. I start off with 3 from our gnomes. Plus 2 any gnomes in your garden.
So I get 2 more.
Oh, was that not in the rules? Oh, it was in there, but just in picture form. Oh, your rightmost rescued gnome shows how many you get for that gnome type. Remaining gnomes are worth 2 extra points for your favorite. Awake gnomes in your rival's garden are worth 1 point. So this is rival's garden. If I had woken him up, but I did not. So you get 1 point for this.
Okay.
So 1 point for that one. Remaining gnomes in your garden, 2, 4, 6. All right, now we get points for this. I had 4 of these for 12. 11's 21. You got 3 for 8. 8 and 5 is 13. Full batch of 14. 13 and 14 is 27. 21 and 14 is 35. I got 3 pumpkins for 13. 1, 2, 3, 48. You got 2 for 8. 27, 8 is 35. 35 to 48.
Good job.
And that is Hedge Mage.
Nice. Definitely puzzly. If you like that abstract kind of thinking and blocking and all that, yeah, it's cute.
Generating all the movement points with the sigils. So it's a risk reward sort of thing. So do I put my paths where it's going to block you, or do I put my paths where I'm going to generate movement points for myself?
Mm-hmm.
And so I tend to err towards the generate movement points and less blocking. And I think you tend to err towards the more blocking.
And
yeah,
I stopped you from getting 1.
Yeah,
that's better than last.
It stopped me from getting 1.
Stop you from anybody last time.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. You forgot early on. You can put a gnome on the hedge and he'll skitter away if he's awake.
That I just don't do that.
Well, yeah, but you said, "Oh, how do I? This exit is useless," and I'm like, "No, it's not useless."
Waking up everybody over here.
Oh, I can't help that.
Yeah.
If you can dump him on a hedge, then you can use that exit.
I got you.
Or like your shroom springer.
Yeah, if you have them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can only get 2.
But I was sitting at 1 purple guy the whole game, so it didn't,
right.
I got no bonuses, so.
Right, and I was hoping you would not get the purple guys, so because I like the flower ones. Mm-hmm. It's weird though, because you could also get flower as your favorite gnome, and that makes it so it's like, oh, just because I get flower, I can't say, oh, for sure she doesn't have flower. It's less likely, but I can't say that's definitely it. Yeah. So yeah. It's good. Like you say, super puzzly, abstract, sort of figuring out where the puzzle is, both in your garden and your rival's garden. So, yeah.
Cool.
Super interesting. Now, do not wait on the Kickstarter because you know what's going to happen. It'll be too late.
Yes.
You're going to set the reminder. You're going to forget. You're going to run out of time. Jelfia knows. Don't wait, or it'll be too late.
That's right.
She's always ready.
She's ready with it.
Click that Kickstarter link.
And
a couple more days.
Yes.
And it is funded. So what are you waiting for?
All set.
Back it today.
That's right.
That's Hedge Mage from Floodgate. And if you enjoyed this teach and playthrough and you want to see more just like it, come join us on YouTube at Board Gamer Steph. Or even better, you can join us on twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph, where we stream every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, and we stream 3 games or more every single stream. So come join us on Twitch, where we play all the games.
And for those on Twitch, we'll be right back.